From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a huge morning of Mornings LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we go over that fourth stimulus check, the monthly stimulus check you would get in your bank account starting the month of July. It's a monthly stimulus check, the biggest payout you've ever seen in the history of this channel. We go over how much, when you're going to get it, and how you're going to get it. Also, then we cut to SSI and SSDI reform under the fifth stimulus and why now not only will be raised up to a new benefit level, but could be raised 20% on top of that. It's incredible jaw-dropping news you're only hearing on this channel. Then we'll cut to the big money that's landing in your bank account today and next week, and why Monday's deadline for your personal tax return is a big one for you to get thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars, and what you need to do to get it. In this big recording, we go over all this money and more. It's a big morning. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. Let's have some fun and let's get some money starting right now on Mornings LALATE. Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning, and I hope you are wonderful. This is a big fourth stimulus check update of 2021 on Mornings LALATE. I'm so excited you're joining me. Also, first, we're going to go over fourth stimulus, the big money that's going to land in your bank account starting in the month of July. Then we're going to go to fifth stimulus, which starts in September and has that incredible big news about that 20% add-on in addition to raising your benefits to a new level. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security and Rural Benefits and Veterans Benefits, incredible great news. And then we're going to be cutting to, in the middle of this recording, all this thousands of dollars available for you, but some that are teed up to a deadline this Monday. So get a pen and paper ready, get ready to pounce, and I got big money for you. But first, subscribe. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Recording live in the morning, taped in the afternoon. A lot of shows from Wall Street to Main Street. Crypto follows right after this with a big update. If you're watching my crypto shows the last 3 days, you will have made 34% return your money on one position and 54% in another. I have a big update, incredible great news to those people winning with most recordings. Also like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Let's get to the breaking news right off the bat. Fourth stimulus is the single biggest payout you've ever seen in the history of this channel. It's a fourth stimulus package. It's a monthly stimulus check. It starts in the month of July and then continues a month after that. And that fourth stimulus package is a two-step, two-month process. They've already started the process. And let's compare and contrast based upon the breaking news that happened on Thursday. On Thursday, the CDC announced that the mask mandate is being lifted. On Friday, the White House announced that all masks are no longer required on White House grounds if you're vaccinated. Overnight, Lowe's, Home Depot, Trader Joe's were among the nation retailers that said they will no longer require masks in their stores if the cities and counties don't require it as well. And in California, all masks are going away in the month of June, which is a big change when considering the two proposals for fourth stimulus. Let's go over why this breaking news this morning impacts your fourth stimulus check. The House proposal provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. It's that first part of the sentence that now is really at flux because of the changing mask mandate. I'll explain to you why it's so in just a second. Here, let's compare the House proposal for the fourth stimulus package versus the Senate proposal. The House proposal provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic every month, plus 1 year. The Senate proposal provides a stimulus check from July to December. So let's pause for a second and look at that. So the Senate proposal is not tied to how long this pandemic's going on, but the House proposal is. The House proposal provides stimulus checks for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. Before Thursday, we were thinking maybe there's 4 more months left of the pandemic, maybe 3, maybe 5. So we said, for example, 4 months plus 1 year, 12 months of stimulus checks. Well, now with the mask mandate being lifted by CDC, there's questions of whether we're 1 month out from the end of the pandemic. That could mean instead of 16 checks, we would be looking at 13 checks. Big difference. Now let's compare it to the monthly stimulus amount. If you're on the live chat and you're watching in, let's look at the details. If you're watching just after 9:40 on the West Coast, a quarter to 12 on the East Coast, get ready to vote House versus Senate. And this may be the game changer right here. The House proposal is a smaller monthly check of $1,000 after the first month in which you get two. The Senate proposal, the monthly amount is unknown, but word on the street, it would be this. Yes, wow. Just sit back and breathe. Oh boy, $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. Word on the street for the senators, also a possibility, $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. So now you see why the House versus Senate plans now take a different face in view of less months of checks if the mass mandate suggests that we're out of the pandemic 1 to 2 months away. That means, for example, let's say there is 1 month left of the pandemic, you would get $14,000 from the House plan, but it would take 13 months to get it. And the Senate plan, in contrast, you would get potentially $12,000, but in just 6 months, much faster and almost the same amount of money. So vote House or Senate. If you're in the live chat, vote House or Senate. Let's go over the incredible details about the fourth stimulus now as well. When would you get this? Well, remember, I'm a reporter. I report the news. Ultimately, I'm not a legislator. So I'm reporting their representations. They report the vote would be in July for the month of July. So the first check would come in the month of July for the month of July, and then a month every month thereafter. Very easy breezy to understand. Is it income? No. Is it taxable? No. Is it coming in waves? No, it can't come in waves. It would come every month routinely. Is the amount of the check the same as for adult dependents and children and everyone else? It is. So everyone gets the same amount of stimulus check. And finally, who gets it? You do. You do if you got the third stimulus check. So if you make less than $75,000, you get the fourth stimulus check. Husband and wife, married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Household 4 or less, you get the stimulus check. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. Household 4, quadruple it. Married couple, double it. And that's your fourth stimulus check updated 2021. A 2-bill, 2-step process currently underway, and away we go. In the second half of this recording, I'm going to go over the breaking news that happened on Friday, and it really resonated like a rocket ship yesterday on Afternoons LA. When I reported to you that there's new indications that the inflationary rate this year could end at 20%. If that's the case, you are literally going to see in the fifth stimulus package the best payday that will change your life under the SSI and SSDI reform. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that in a at the second half of the recording, but let me give you a preview. The fifth stimulus in the fall will provide you SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits reform, raising your benefits across the board, and then tie you to a new benchmark. If the inflation rate goes to 20%, you are absolutely going to be sitting pretty for the rest of your life, not just for 1 year. I have the incredible great news in the second half of this recording. Stay with me. But now let's turn to the big money landing in your bank account today, next week, and the week after. I'm really excited for you. We're going to be going over a series of items. I want you to get a pen and paper ready because I got thousands of dollars of money for you, and I want you to get it. Also, we're going to be going over some things that are automatic. I refer to those as donut money, meaning you don't have to do anything. You can have a donut. It's going to land in your bank account. Second, we're going to go over some money that's tough love. And guess what? It's a new expression, and I won't be saying tough love after Monday. Because why? The deadline's Monday. So if you don't get the deadline done by Monday, by Tuesday, there won't be any more tough love. It will have passed. So let's go over the details starting right now. First item is incredible great news. Upwards of $25,000 available for you right now. When third stimulus was passed in January, I told you that, yes, you're going to get a $14 stimulus check. But if you're on SSI or SSDI and make less than $75,000, there's going to be upwards of $5,000 to $25,000 of other money available for you. And you need to get it as soon as it goes live. Now it's going live. So let's go get it. What is it? It's rent, utilities, homeowners assistance, homeowners mortgage, and mortgage utilities, and SNAP. Wow. Let's go to the first item. First, rent. It's about $5,000, and it's about 4 to 6 months of rent. And how do you get it? 6 places. I hope you got that pen ready. Let's go over the details. And if I go too fast, don't worry. You can always replay the video after it's archived, or replay it entirely, or rewind that section. The rent you can get at City Hall, City Housing Authority, County Hall, County Housing Authority, State Hall, State Housing Authority. Different places have different amount of rent and different eligibility, so reach out to each of them. It's about $5,000, 4 to 6 months of rent across the board. Incredible, great news. They also have money for utilities, a couple hundred, a few thousand, mortgage assistance, and also homeowners utility assistance. Then SNAP. SNAP has been the big winner. SNAP has been the big winner of this channel, and the SNAP benefits is absolutely incredible. Family of 4 in Hawaii can get upwards of $16,000 a year. Yes, you did hear me right, $16,000 a year, because of the Trump executive order and the Biden executive order raising it 15% over 1 year. How do you get it? Reach out to Department of Agriculture. That's Department of Agriculture, also called 211. And they will get you on SNAP. It's money for your food. Get it right away. So, wow, we're only 10 minutes into this video, and we got $25,000, $22,000, $21,000 for food and for rent. That brings me to a tough love moment. Here's tough love moment number 1. Rent, utility, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utility assistance is available now. And you need to pounce as a purple hawk because it's first come, first serve, because there's going to be a stimulus stampede. But it ain't coming back. This is the last ride at the rodeo. It's not coming back in the 4th stimulus, I can report to you. It's not coming back in the 5th stimulus. In fact, it's going to get worse. They're going to lift the eviction moratorium, and they're going to lift the mortgage forbearance in September, so there will no longer be money for rent or utilities, and you'll be able to be evicted if you don't have money to pay the rent. So that's why I want you to go get that money right now. This was the opportunity that they set for you to get the money so that you're not in a bind later on. All right, now let's go to some donuts. You deserve it. It's Saturday morning. Get it ready. Whether it's glaze or cherry fill, let's get to the first donut moment. The first donut moment is thousands of dollars are landing in Americans' bank accounts from their state. So the states have been ordered to return money back to you if this is your scenario. The federal government has ordered state unemployment offices to return money to you. If they had given you money throughout the last year, out of no fault of your own, out of computer malfeasance, and they asked you to return the money back to them. So now they have to return the money to you. What is the case of? This is the case in which they overpaid you unemployment benefits to no fault of your own. Now the Department of Labor has ordered them to return that money back to you after they told you to return it back to them. Incredible, great news. Now let's go to the federal government. This is another donut moment. If you filed your 2020 tax return, you pay taxes on your first $10,200 of unemployment to the federal government, IRS. The IRS is giving you back that money, and it's landing in your mailbox today, this week, and a little bit of you next week. If you're a single filer, if you're a joint filer, you're coming at the end of the month. Incredible, great news. I have one viewer who's already gotten $2,000 back, so congratulations to that viewer. So who's getting this money? 1, you filed a tax return. 2, you paid taxes to the federal government on your unemployment benefits. 3, you're a single filer. So here's an example of how much money you're getting back. Let's say your tax return had $9,000 of unemployment benefits, $5,000 total tax bill, of which $4,000 was taxes on your unemployment benefits. That $4,000 is coming back to you today. Where? In the mail. Beige white envelope with a yellow check in there from IRS or Treasury with the word tax refund on it. Unless you have a direct deposit set up on your tax return, then it's going to that. Incredible, great news. Which brings me to tough love moment number 2, which is the following. If you did take out for federal taxes every week while getting your unemployment benefits in 2020, that's federal taxes, then you need to file that tax return Monday, requesting that money back from the federal government. Now, you've seen me over the last few days talk about this tough love, and the tough love is referring to a Monday deadline generally. That Monday deadline is when you have to file the federal tax return for personal individuals for 2020. If you do not file the 2020 tax return by the end of Monday, you are out of luck. And I'm making this very tough. And as we get closer to Monday, I'm going to be even tougher on my tough love. I'm going to literally say, you stop everything, you go do it. And I don't hear any excuses about it. You have to do it. And I don't want to hear anyone say, why haven't I gotten it? Because you have to do this. If you don't do it, you're not going to get it. Which brings me to the big moolah. If you're a mom of a 5, 4, and 3-year-old, congratulations, because you're going to get upwards of $10,000, paid $300 a month starting the month of July. Or if that child is 17, 16, and 15, you're going to get $3,000, paid $250 a month starting the month of July. If 2 things have happened. 1, you make less than $75,000, and 2, IRS knows that child exists and lives with you. It's what triggers 3 tough love moments. Tough love moment number 1, you never file tax returns, and you believe that IRS does not know those children are with you at all. Then when July comes around, if you do not file a 2020 tax return by the end of Monday, listing those children, you are categorically 100% triple underline 3 exclamation points. Instead of getting $10,000, instead actually getting 0. You don't want to do that. You don't want to miss out on $10,000. If you do not file this tax return by the end of Monday, if you believe that IRS does not know those children exist, you are getting absolutely 0 in July. You cannot fix it in July. You cannot fix it in June. You cannot fix it in another month or October. You're not getting the money. You have to file the tax return by the end of Monday. Tough love moment number 2, which is you do file tax returns every year, but you have never listed that child. Well, you have to file that 2020 tax return right away and list that child. This situation is usually common for people where the child was on someone else's tax return before, like an ex-husband, or the child was newly born in the last year. You got to get the tax return on file because they don't know the child is with you. Remember how I phrased this. The child has to be with you. So I'm referring specifically to the money coming to you and that the child is with you. So if the child was previously listed with someone else, you're not going to get the money. Or if the child was never known by IRS doesn't even know the child is alive, you're not going to get the money. And that comes to tough love moment number 3, which is IRS knows the child is alive, knows the child's with you, and you file a tax return with you and that child every year. But the problem is the last tax return you filed was a 2019 tax return where you made too much money. And you're not eligible for this money because you did not make less than $75,000 or even the phase out. So guess what? You have to file the tax return because IRS will go off that 2019 tax return and say, you made too much money in 2019. That's the most recent tax return on file. We're not paying you the money starting in July. And that brings me to the major tough love moment, which is if you're missing a first stimulus check, you're missing a second stimulus check, you're missing a third stimulus check, you're missing a household member stimulus check, you categorically 100% must file that tax return by the end of Monday, requesting that missing stimulus check. There is always 1 or 2 stragglers who jump into the comments and say, is anyone else missing their third stimulus check? No, because everyone else has requested it on their tax return. You absolutely cannot be on Twitter, Facebook, or on YouTube comments, jumping in the comments saying, where's my missing stimulus check? Because that's not going to get it. The IRS has made 100% clear to viewers of this channel and to millions of Americans that if you're missing a stimulus check at this point, you categorically must file a tax return. And the tax returns are due Monday. Now, I want you to look me right in the eye and understand the severity and the importance of the situation. If you personally never have to file a tax return because you don't make enough money, or that you never file a tax return because you're on SSI or SSDI, that is a different situation than what I'm referring to in this video. What I'm referring to in this video is that IRS has made very emphatically clear that for purposes of these stimulus items, you must file a tax return to get these stimulus items. And if you don't file a tax return, you're not going to get these stimulus items. And there we are. Now, one final message, which is if you need help with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utility bills, or SNAP, reach out to the volunteers at the community page. That's news.lalate.com/community. It appears in the comments to this video, in the description, and across the channel. If you go to that webpage, you see a series of cute cats on the page. Reach out to the volunteers that can help you with that. They cannot help you with taxes. They cannot help you with unemployment. But guess what? I'm back with you in 60 seconds to go over the incredible big news about this 20% increase on top of your SSI and SSDI increase, which is now looming if one analyst is correct. I'll be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals. Reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Mornings LALATE. I'm really excited for you with big fourth stimulus check updates of 2021. I saw some of your questions during the commercial break, and I'll be answering them in just a second. This is LALATE. I want you to subscribe to this channel, the fastest growing of its kind, from Wall Street to Main Street. I'm live all morning long and then taped in the afternoon. Coming up right after this is a major recording about cryptos. Congratulations to some of my viewers. You are up 50% since Wednesday based upon my recommendations. We're making money on this channel. I'm here to make you money across the board. I'm here to educate you as well and also have a lot of fun. So like this video, 3,000 likes, get this video to #1 and consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. Boy, one of the greatest questions during the commercial break was a viewer who asked, what about if I filed an extension to file my tax return? Will I get the stimulus items? The concept of a tax return is that if you do an appropriate extension, you will get particular stimulus items, but not when you think you're supposed to get them. So here's an example. If you do file an extension of your tax return on Monday, and then you look to file the tax return, I don't know, a few months out from now, well, do you think you're going to get the children's check in July? No. They are ramping up all their databases to get this money for the children starting the month of July based upon tax returns they're getting now. So if you want to file things late, you're going to get things late from them. So make it very simple. If you want to file an extension, don't expect to get anything for purposes of stimulus on time. Expect to get it months late because you're doing the tax return months late. I think that's sort of obvious, but I want to make that very clear. And now let's cut back to fifth stimulus because, boy, I'm really excited for you about what's going for fifth stimulus. But first, let me tell you one major series of the breaking details which went over fourth stimulus yesterday and this week. The President of the United States came out all last week and a little bit the week before saying, just get it done. This is incredible great news because he's telling his Democratic leadership to get the fourth stimulus check out the door, the monthly stimulus check month after month. And it's important to understand that fourth stimulus is in that two-bill, two-step process. Number two, he made a deal on the corporate tax rate, and that corporate tax rate was the only thing that could be divisive for purposes of getting stimulus out the door. The corporate tax rate had been proposed by the president at 28 to 29%. He is now down to where the moderate Democrats wanted to do it by reconciliation. Number three, one person dropped in the comments, do you think that stimulus checks will still happen in lieu of what's going on with everything else? Yes. What I've detailed over the last 24, 48 hours is that a week ago yesterday, the jobs report came out. That has a big impact on unemployment stimulus. On Wednesday and Tuesday, the consumer price index number and the producer price index number came out, which talk about inflation. And that also has a big impact on unemployment stimulus. That has absolutely no impact on stimulus checks. Moreover, what you're seeing across the board with now no less than it's like 14 states, could be going to 20 states, where the governors are Republican ending FPUC months earlier, where I told you that eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance are going to end as early as well. That has nothing to do with stimulus checks. And it's a totally different mindset that the problems we're having with the labor market is tied to labor stimulus issues, not tied to stimulus checks. So that's why. And ironically, to make that even clearer, to even hit it out of the ballpark, the Republican governors, some of them, they're ending unemployment stimulus, are saying, I'm sending out stimulus checks for you to pay your bills on top of that. So they actually like stimulus checks, even those Republicans who want to end unemployment stimulus. So now let's cut to the incredible great news about fifth stimulus. And that incredible great news you're only hearing on this channel, because how I do it on this channel is I take all the different news and put it together and help you understand why things are happening. Fifth stimulus would provide and increase your benefit limits, remove the asset limits, add an inflationary benchmark. That's the one we're going to hit on very hard in 1 second. Then remove the income exclusion and remove the marriage penalty. Fifth stimulus is a two-bill, two-step, two-month process starting in Oops, I hit something wrong here. Where am I? There I am. A two-bill, 2-month, two-step process starting in September and done in November. First, who gets it? You do. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, or SSA, it's you. And if you're on multiple benefits, it also is you. So what are they going to do? I'm going to slow this down so you understand this, because this is where it's a mathematical analysis. First, they're going to raise your benefits up to a big new number. You understand that because I've been covering over a few days of this channel. They're going to raise your benefits up to a big new number. That's your new number going forward. Now, they're going to add an inflationary benchmark. So as inflation goes up, that will be your new benchmark going forward. Now, this is where the analysis gets incredibly great news. The way a benchmark works is that every December, they look at your current payout. Let's say it's $100. And they say, inflation went up 2% this year. So they're going to add 2% on top of $10 compared, let's say you're $100 the year before. They're going to add 2% on top of $100. And so you're going to get $102 the year next year. If the year after that, inflation goes up 4%, then they're going to add an additional 4% on top of the 102. They continue to add on top of it. It's called a step-up basis, meaning you step up. You never step down. So let's say in 3 years from now, the inflation rate is 0. Do you go back down to 100? No. You stay exactly at that level because you keep on stepping up or stop. Step up or stop. There is no stepping down. To which we go to incredible great news. On Friday, Jeremy Siegel, professor of Wharton School of Business, leading economist and leading investor, came out and said, why do we keep on hearing about 2, 3, 4% inflationary rate this year? I think it's going to be upwards of 20% inflationary rate. 20% inflationary rate? What does that mean for your benefits? It means a lifetime your benefits would be stepped up one time this year at 20%, and then that would be at least your minimum level going forward for the rest of your life. Let's go over this. So here, they would first raise up your benefits, and then if Jeremy Siegel's right, and then inflation is 20% this year, it would jump up an additional 20% because of that new benchmark of inflation tied. And then whatever happens for the next 80 years you're on this planet, or 50 years you're on this planet, you're going to be at least at that level or higher. So let's say the year after that, it's 4%. You go up another 4%. And the year after that, 0, you stay flat, but you're never going to step down. This is incredible great news. This is incredible great news, and that's why you want this inflationary benchmark tying your benefits to inflation. They're currently tied to COLA. Next, they're going to get rid of the asset cap. The asset cap is dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't stay on benefits and also receive unemployment. A 1980s law that says you cannot keep more than $3,000 on hand and still stay on benefits. Incredible great news, especially if you're getting stimulus checks in the mail. Next, they're going to remove a 1960s law that says you cannot stay on benefits and work. So if you want to go out and work, you can work $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month. Yes, go out and work and also stay on benefits. Incredible great news across the board. Then they want to remove the marriage penalty. The marriage penalty is absolutely horrible. So let's say you have been married, you've suffered for the marriage penalty. Or as one viewer who's in the live chat right now wants to get married but doesn't get married because of fear of losing benefits under the marriage penalty. The marriage penalty would be invalidated and love would win. You would be able to consummate your vows. Incredible morning across the board. I'm really excited for you for where we are, but let's circle back now to fourth stimulus. And fourth stimulus got an interesting twist this week when the CDC lifted the mask mandate, which suggests perhaps, we don't know yet, but perhaps we're 1 month out from coming out of the pandemic. As stores like Home Depot, Lowe's, Trader Joe's in the last 7 hours have announced they're lifting their mask mandates unless required by states. And states, even blue states like California, where our governor is blue, are lifting the mask mandate in June and opening the entire state for purposes of all business in June. Are we less than 1 month out from when the pandemic is over? If that is the case, then the House plan would provide you 13 months of stimulus checks. If we're going based upon today's numbers. Now, let's go through another analysis, which one viewer brought up, which is a great point. If we're talking about the vote in July, well, the pandemic would be over by July, which would mean that the House plan would not have any stimulus checks for the remainder of the pandemic because the pandemic may be over by July. That means you would get 12 months of checks because they want to do 1 year. 12 months for the House is $13,000. And that would take 12 months to get, versus the Senate, in which you would only take 6 months to get $12,000. So Senate or House, which one do you like? Senate or House? Drop in the comments. Clearly at this point, there's very few reasons to really understand why you would like the House plan. Because now if the pandemic's going to be over by the time they vote, then the Senate plan provides you nearly the same amount of money in 6 months, potentially, than the House plan, which takes an entire year. And with that, that's LALATE. And that's Mornings LA. I look forward to seeing you next on noontime, our big recording at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 o'clock on the East Coast. But first, subscribe, grow this channel. I'm next with you right after this video with Crypto Mornings. That's a tape show with a live chat, so I'll be in the live chat. I taped it ahead of time just a few minutes ago so you can follow along and have a lot of fun and make a lot of money. And some of the viewers, 2 of them that are in the live chat right now, are up about 50% on Polygon. Congratulations. Cardano's doing well as well. Also, like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful morning, and I'll see you in just a few minutes from now on Crypto Mornings, and stay with LA for more.